So we're not going to go into Gotham just yet. I want us to go into the actual engineering team. And I want to really pull back the covers on their culture and the way they view themselves and their mission. Because that's what I care about when I invest in a long term company. I want to know what's the core of their DNA. Is this something that's sustainable? Is this something that creates a better world that I want to live in? And do they have competitive advantages that are going to make it very tough for them to be unseated? So we look at this. This is from their website, and you can see another thing about doing my own DD, and you should do the same. Is have everything pulled up Palantir. So I want to understand this company from the leadership team, from the financials, from the product, from even the hiring process, right? And so in engineering culture, right? Engineers build things that solve problems. I like that. That first statement just jumps out at me because I want to invest in a company that solves problems. If anyone has worked in sales before, you can't sell anything if there's not a problem to solve. Hard to create value that way. You don't have to be a computer scientist or have any particular degree to be an engineer. You just have to speak up when things aren't right. Evaluate ideas on their merits and build things that fix what's broken. So they're looking for problems. At Palantir, we're all engineers. We're focused on solving the hardest problems we can find. I like it so far. So then we go down a different kind of product company. We seek our hard problems at places that matter. We solve them by shipping products that work today. They have to because the stakes are real. And so they're going after customers. They started this company based off of focusing on our government. And we'll go into the history here in a little bit. But they continue on and say people rely on our products to do most important work, which means relying on us to build things the right way. I like that jargon. I like that they're putting that in there, that they don't want to cut corners. They don't want to take shortcuts. They want to make sure they're building a product that is sustainable, that is durable, and that is competitive to a point where there's no one that can match their technology and what they're building. And if you've ever listened to the CEO, Alex Karp, speak on the Palantir products in the company, you'll hear that that is something he emphasizes. He says, we ship products that help people change the world for the better. We make products for human driven analysis of real world data, and we don't mine data. We don't collect data. We don't build off solutions. We've only built a fraction of what we've imagined as well as a company. As our company evolves, so will our products and the ways in which they transform and how people and organizations interact with data. There's so much left to build. So why do I like that? I like that because they're not settling on their morals. They're not focused on just getting more customers with their current products they have. They're already thinking, what are we going to do next? What's on the roadmap? How do we make this bigger? How do we make this at grander scale? And so small teams, unlimited imagination. There are no leashes at Palantir. We work on flat, decentralized teams, each with the decision-making authority, and our people have the freedom to approach, own, and solve problems creatively. We've intentionally chosen this path over traditional hierarchy, and it works much more often than not. So they're empowering their employees to think outside the box, to challenge the status quo, to think about new solutions and how to go about it in their centralized teams, decentralized teams. So I like that. I like, as Tony would say, zigging when they're zagging, looking at something different and a different approach. And if I have empowered employees that love what they do and feel like they can make a difference, probably going to stay around. And that's going to be one heck of an engineering team. Now, there are three guiding ideas. The best ideas win. There are no prima donnas here in engineering. Uh, and if you have a great idea, then we'll see it through and you can affect great change. They're open to new ideas. They're open to optionality and creativity. Nothing is permanent. I like this one here. Successful software always gets changed. I don't want an investment of a software company just to rest on their laurels and just add a new feature or add a new module. I want them to evolve. I want them to think bigger than what they are today. And based off of this, I'm getting that vibe. They keep focused on the mission. The hardest single part of building a software system is deciding precisely what to build. They're thinking about things in a different light. They're not just thinking about pushing out a product. This is what we do. This is what it is. This is what it'll help with. But they're thinking about what is the customer's challenge? What do we have in our public, in our governments, in our commercial space? What are the largest problems that people have not went after to solve? How do we go do that and do it better than everyone else and take it on fearlessly? I like that. That to me, that encourages me that they're not going to settle, and this is a leadership team that's going to go uh, full on uh, with hiring the best talent and enabling their people to do so. So let's go over to Glassdoor before we go into the history of the company, because when I look at a company to invest in, I want to make sure the employees are happy, they're satisfied, they're going to stay around. I've worked at many different sales companies over the years, and I can tell you turnover is not fun to deal with. It's not good for the customer, it's not good for morale, it's not good for culture. So, how do you build a culture that people want to work at and would recommend their friend and say, hey, man, you need to come on board? This company has it. And so you can see here, Glassdoor, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But if you have enough views, it's worth looking at and saying, you know what, that's good data to kind of base off of a outsider in looking on the culture. So 4.2 stars, which is actually really good on Glassdoor. Out of 385 reviews, 84% recommend to a friend, and 84% recommend of the CEO. And what we'll learn too is that Alex has been from day one of co-founder and founder CEO throughout this. And if you look at old interviews, he's never strayed on what the mission was or what they were trying to achieve, even when people doubted him. So you see here, Palantir is a place that makes the rest of Silicon Valley look like it's working on toy train sets. I like it. I like the confidence. Smart people who care about the mission. 35 reviewers. You're going to deal with stuff like this. Consuming and work-life balance can be hard to maintain if you don't stand up for yourself. Tons of usual growing pains. You're going to see reviews like that, right? You're going to see that when you're an emerging company, even though they are 18 years old, they're now going into the commercial segment for the first time in the past couple of years, and they are emerging with new products, and they have shareholders to answer to, and so that's still going from a growth mode, and their revenues and their results will show their growth mode. So I give that A minus. I mean, you look at it, you have 84%, um, and you have the same co-founding leadership team still intact, still driving, still invested. I like it. I like it a lot. And I encourage you, if you're going to look at CEOs, look at the interviews on YouTube, look at the investor presentations they give at conferences, hear their tone of voice. Are they committed? Do they have skin in the game? Do they have shares? So, and do they talk about a vision long term, or are they talking in 90-day cycles? Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this content and learned something new about investing. Now, if you did like it, make sure to smash that like button. Help us deliver new content for you. And hit subscribe so this way you don't miss any other episodes of our YouTube channel. You can also listen to our network podcast, Pounding the Table, so you can learn more about stocks and learning how to beat the market. Now, are you ready to jump back in the water and dive in? I know I am.
So until next time.